Hi, this is John. Welcome to another episode of History and Prayer, America 250, by which we look at 250 years of prayer that continues to carry this country through joy and struggle. In this episode, we are going to look closely into General Douglas MacArthur's prayer for his son, written by the general stationed in Australia after escaping Corregidor and the Japanese-held Philippines. I'm going to insert some contextual data and delve into the general's mindset, adding aspects of his life with which we might not be familiar. This will give us pause to reflect, reminding us that we are not perfect, yet we can still pray to God anytime. God would rather hear imperfect prayer from a truly humble, wounded person, as opposed to a high litany of prayers from a proud, high-handed heart. So this story is not meant to demean or malign MacArthur. I'm simply trying to remind myself that humility and introspection are key components we strive to possess when praying. Proverbs 30, verse 12 says, "There are those who are pure in their own eyes, yet are not cleansed of their dirt." MacArthur was a brilliant and courageous leader, graduating number one in his West Point class of 1903. He was a frontline commander of the Rainbow Division in World War I. He and Admirals Chester Nimitz and William Halsey developed the World War II island hopping strategy in the Pacific Theater of Operations. He returned to and began the liberation of the Philippines. That took place on 20 October 1944. He successfully administered the demilitarization and democratization of Japan. During the Korean War, he orchestrated the nearly impossible landing at Incheon behind enemy lines and drove the North Koreans back to the Yalu River. Now, the darker side of his personality can be summarized in a narrative by the Bill of Rights Institute. It states, "He possessed a significant ego and sense of self-importance. Many contemporaries and historians noted his excessive pride and vanity, which sometimes led him to believe he was infallible and right, even when challenging the authority of his superiors, including President Franklin Roosevelt and Harry S. Truman." For this prayer, however, on 11 March 1942, enters the great equalizer, war, or as we like to call it, life. The general was under immense pressure, a disastrous military defeat, and a harrowing escape from the powerful and fierce Imperial Japanese Army. His heartfelt prayer for his son, then 4 years old, reflects a father's deep concern for his son's future in a world dominated by war and peril. He asks God to build certain values into his son. He wrote, "Build me a son, O Lord, who will be strong enough to know when he is weak and brave enough to face himself when he is afraid. One who will be proud and unbending in honest defeat and humble and gentle in victory. Build me a son whose wishes will not take the place of deeds, a son who will know thee, and that to know himself is the foundation stone of knowledge. Lead him, I pray, not in the path of ease and comfort, but under the stress and spur of difficulties and challenge. Here, let him learn to stand up in the storm. Here, let him learn compassion for those who fail. Build me a son whose heart will be clear, whose goal will be high, a son who will master himself before he seeks to master other men, one who will reach into the future, yet never forget the past. And after all these things are his, add, I pray, enough of a sense of humor so that he may always be serious, yet never take himself too seriously. Give him humility so that he may always remember the simplicity of true greatness, the open mind of true wisdom, and the weakness of true strength. Then I, his father, will dare to whisper, I have not lived in vain. Grandson of Colonel Arthur MacArthur, who won the Medal of Honor during the Battle of Missionary Ridge in the Civil War, son of five-star General Douglas MacArthur of World War II and Korean War fame, Arthur MacArthur IV grew up to be a concert pianist and writer. To escape the limelight, he used the name David Jordan. As of this writing, Arthur is 87 years old. By profession, I am a soldier and take pride in that fact. But I am prouder, infinitely prouder, to be a father. A soldier destroys in order to build. The father only builds, never destroys. Douglas MacArthur. Thank you for watching this 5th episode of History and Prayer. There are more to come. As a country, we have spoken to God much over these last 250 years. Let's continue to do so. There is always hope. Thank you, and good day.